Hello everybody, Thomas here. Welcome back to SFF180. And this is Mailbag Monday for January the 18th. Now, if you're wondering about last week, no, you did not miss anything. There was no mailbag for the 11th. That's because the preceding week I didn't get any packages. That usually happens, and usually right around New Year's too. But I must say, the publicists have more than made up the deficit this week. I have a massive stack of books to get through. Way more packages than I can even fit on my lap. So, not going to waste a whole lot of time so that I can get through these fairly quickly for you. But I did want to greet any of my new subscribers, new viewers, who may have joined up here, joined the SFF180 family, as a result of seeing last weekend's live show, the Best SFF of 2015 live show, which was a great deal of fun. I did that on Saturday with quite a few booktubers, many folks that you know and love, Elizabeth Nicole, Michael, and I can't name everyone right now, top of my head, my brain is frazzled. But if you missed it, it is archived, so if you have 2.5 hours to spare, go and check that out, because it was a terrific discussion, and love doing it, love working with all those people, and maybe we'll make that an annual thing, because it was exactly that fun. But that said, if you are a new viewer, this is Mailbag Monday. This is where I showcase all the review copies that get sent to me from publishers during the previous week. I don't know what's in these packages. I open them here on camera, we discover them together, and then you let me know in the comments which of these you want to see me prioritize in the review queue. All right? So, let's get into it. First one says, from Macmillan Holdings. Okay, sometimes I get the audiobooks when there is a major release out. About 2 weeks ago, previous mailbag, you saw me get the hardcover for The Bands of Mourning, the new Brandon Sanderson, Wax and Wayne Mistborn novel. Well, this is the audiobook version on 12 CDs, runs 14.5 hours. So, hooray, audiobook fans, this is now available to you, or will be fairly soon. Probably the same week that the hardcover comes out. And the narrator on this one is Michael Kramer. And this comes from Random Penguin. And this is a new book by Will McIntosh. It's called Burning Midnight. It comes out on February the 2nd. And it goes like this. A vicious billionaire CEO, a high-stakes race, and a group of disadvantaged teens who might actually have a chance to win it all. So Will McIntosh is a Hugo-winning SF author, and this looks to be his young adult debut. No one knows where the brilliant colored spheres came from. One day they were just there, hidden all over the earth like huge gemstones. Burn a pair, and they make you a little better, an inch taller, skilled at math, better looking. The rarer the spheres, the more expensive, and the greater the improvement. When Sully meets Hunter, a girl with a natural talent for finding spheres, the two start searching together. One day they find a gold, a color no one has ever seen. Sounds like, I don't know, like some game where you collect the power-ups. And when billionaire collector Alex Holliday learns what they have, he will go to any lengths, will use all of his wealth and power to take it from them. There's no question the gold is worth millions, but what does it actually do? None of them is aware of it yet, but the fate of the world rests on this little golden orb. Well then. Okay, Burning Midnight, a young adult novel from Will McIntosh, comes out February the 2nd. Okay, if you're a Faith Hunter fan, if you're a fan of her Jane Yellow Rock urban fantasy series, here is the new one, the arc for the new one, Shadow Rights, which comes out April the 5th. Slaying vampires is child's play for the skinwalker Jane Yellow Rock, but handling the complicated politics of New Orleans' supernatural players is another story. So yeah, this is, Fearless Vampire Killer UF stuff, and Faith Hunter. This is a fairly long-running series now. This might be like the 10th book in it or something like that. So if you're a fan, good lucky you. Shadow Rights comes out, like I said, April the 5th. And more Random Penguin. This looks like it's going to be a Random Penguin heavy week, guys. And again, with the urban fantasy, this is Staked, the 8th Iron Druid Chronicles novel from Kevin Hearn. Iron Druid Atticus O'Sullivan, hero of Kevin Hearn's epic New York Times bestselling urban fantasy series, has a point to make and then drive into a vampire's heart. So this comes out January the 26th. If you're a Kevin Hearn fan, well, you will be very happy about that. So, from Del Rey Books in hardcover, Staked by Kevin Hearn. And this is from Macmillan again. Yeah, I kill vampires. I kill vampires. Come on, UF writers. Where are the original ideas? Well, okay, this is interesting. This is Transgalactic. The author is James Gunn. And this is the sequel to a novel of his that came out in 2013, which I got, but didn't get around to reading, unfortunately, at the time. called Transcendental. So Transgalactic continues that story, I suppose. And, well, again, I guess I don't want to do too much in the way of spoilery synopses here, but it does say an epic character-driven high-concept space opera. Transgalactic is a real departure for Gunn. It's a suspenseful novel with unexpected plot twists, set against a deeply spiritual quest, a grander scope, and higher concept than anything he's done before. So it's about, I guess, traveling to a distant planet and finding something called the Transcendental Machine. So this comes out from Tor Books in hardcover on March 22nd. It's awfully thin. I looked, it's like 220 pages or something like that. So pretty quick, brisk adventure. But James Gunn, was not the most prolific writer in the world, and so, I guess it's good to see some new books from him. But March 22nd from Tor. Big fat book from Random Penguin. Yes, joy of joys. The finished copy, the hardcover of Poseidon's Wake. Finally got that. So that's really nice. I am a huge, huge fan of the first book in this trilogy, which is called the Poseidon's Children trilogy. The first book was called Blue Remembered Earth. And so now I'm just going to bang through the second and third ones because I'm very much impatient to read these. But it says Alastair Reynolds has proven with both Blue Remembered Earth and On the Steel Breeze, which is book 2, that he's a master of speculative fiction, especially the future history presented in the Poseidon's Children trilogy. This hard science fiction series took readers on a journey to explore the expansion of the human race beyond our solar system, with Africa emerging as a spacefaring technological superpower. Reynolds creates a unique take on the traditional space opera while staying true to the soul of the genre, the wonder of exploring the unknown. Basically, what this series does is it follows a single family through several generations. So, like, each book is set, I think, a few hundred years apart. So the first book took place, I guess, in maybe like the mid to late 21st century, and then the second book shot it ahead in time, and then this one goes even further ahead in time. But it's following all, the scions of the same family, basically. But Poseidon's Wake, out from Ace Books in hardcover. Yeah, actual street date is February 2nd. Hooray! Okay, here's a package from Simon & Schuster, and there are 2 items in it. Okay, no, there were not 2 items in it. There were 3 items in it. This is awesome. This is a trio of arcs from the fine folks at Saga Press, and so I'm just going to go through them down the line. The first is Titan's Fall, a military SF novel from Zachary Brown that comes out March 22nd. The next is a short story collection from Ken Liu called The Paper Menagerie and Other Stories. That comes out March the 8th. And then finally, Icon by Genevieve Valentine looks to be the sequel to her book Persona, and that comes out on June 28th. So I'm just going to show you all of these in sequence right now. Outgunned by an alien armada, the rapacious conglomeration has taken their war with our so-called allies, the Accordants, to our solar system. There are actually previous books in this series that I haven't gotten yet, so I may have to get in touch with Saga about those. But this is an ongoing military SF series. And then Icon, the sequel to Persona. This appears to be a series that has to do with the media and the way in which media shapes opinions and stories and creates personalities. And then this looks quite beautiful and quite nice. Ken Liu has quickly become one of the most original and thought-provoking story writers of his generation. Deftly riffing off the power of narrative, this collection is as heartbreaking as it is charming. So this contains such stories as Simulacrum, The Paper Menagerie, Mono no Aware, The Man Who Ended History, an advanced reader's picture book of comparative cognition, 15 evocative short stories and novellas tour the poignant history that always haunts immigrants, survivors of war, and our consistent technological advances as they are explored through love, race, and politics. An award-winning author, Liu and his stories invoke the magical within the mundane in profound and moving ways. And moving on, another Macmillan title. Okay, well, Whitley Strieber is certainly a big name among the UFO crowd, and this, I guess, is his newest book in his UFO series, Alien Hunter, The White House. This one is called. Ooh. So, hey, if you're excited for the new X-Files revival, maybe you can wet your whistle with some of this, I suppose. Let's see. The thrilling third installment in the Alien Hunter series from best-selling author Whitley Strieber. The aliens have seen many worlds. but they know that Earth in particular is a jewel. They lust for its soaring mountains, its shining seas, its gorgeous forests, and majestic deserts. There's just one part of the planet that they don't want, us. Okay, well, I guess they're showing some sense there. All right, well, Alien fans, this comes out from Tor Books on April 12th. Moving on, I have another random penguin. Okay, guys, well, I guess you really didn't need to send me the ARC if you were just going to send me the hardcover right away. Yeah, well, here it is then. Burning Midnight, one more time. The finished copy. Oh, but it gives like the list of the spheres on the back. Okay, so teal has a rarity value of 1, price $60, effect fall asleep easily. Okay. Slate gray, rarity 2, price $130, effect enhanced singing ability. Hot pink, ooh, rarity 5, price $14,000. Well, that escalated quickly. Effect adrenaline rush. Oh, come on, you can get X for a lot cheaper than that. Cranberry, rarity 7, price $550,000. Effect better looking. Mustard, rarity 9, price $2.5 million. Effect high intelligence. Yeah, like you pay the $2.5 million for the thing, and then you get it, and then suddenly you have high intelligence, and you're like, I just spent $2.5 million on that thing. I'm an idiot. Midnight Blue, rarity 10, price $50 million. Effect unknown. Owner Alex Holiday, CEO. Status one of a kind. No match yet found. Gold, rarity 10, price unknown. Effect unknown. Owners David Sullivan, 17. Hunter Valder, 17. Status unknown. So again, one of these YA novels where the whole... It must be awesome to be 17. Like the fate of the world always rests on your shoulders when you're 17 in the world of YA fiction. Well, anyway, Burning Midnight by Will McIntosh. And it's available February 2nd. So collect those little spheres. Because you'll be good looking, you'll fall asleep easily, and be stone broke. And again, on February 2nd, this is Exile. I see what you did there. This is the 5th book in Peter Cline's X-Heroes series. So I know that some folks are fans of this series. If you've read any of them, let me know. But this is the 5th one, the spectacular 5th adventure in the X-Heroes series, and there's all kinds of praise for it. And see, in the days after civilization fell to the zombie hordes, yada yada yada, a small team of heroes, including St. George, Zap, Cerberus, and Stealth, turned an abandoned Los Angeles movie studio into a stronghold against the undead, and brought the last humans they could gather within its walls. So, superhero, tongue-in-cheek stuff, February 2nd from Peter Cline's Book 5, Exile. All right, you guys. Are you ready for what's next? Okay, so I have a big old box here from Hachette. Hachette usually means orbit. All right, well, it is indeed a stack of orbits, and some of these have already been out for a while. Orbit is one of these lovely publisher, but occasionally they're someone that I usually have to shake the tree a little bit to get some books from. But as you see, what we have here are Kate Elliott's Black Wolves. This is the first in a new series that is set in her Crossroads universe, the same universe as that trilogy. And this, like I said, it's been out for a few months. It's already been getting a whole lot of acclaim in critical circles. We discussed it a bit. Some folks in the BookTube SFF community are already underway on this book and reading it at the moment, and so it was discussed on our live show. But it says, an exiled captain returns to help the son of the king who died under his protection in this rich and multi-layered first book in an action-packed new series. Like I said, this book is very highly thought of already critically, and so I'm very much looking forward to getting into it. This next is called Roadside Magic. It appears to be a new UF from Lilith St. Crow. Robin Ragged has revenge to wreak and redemption to steal. As for Jeremiah Gallo, the poison in his wound is slowly killing him, while old friends turn traitor and long-lost enemies return to haunt him. In the dive bars and trailer parks, the She are hunting. S-I-D-H-E, those She. War looms, and on a rooftop in the heart of the city, the most dangerous She of all is given... It is She, right? She? Not C. She, B. Okay, anyway, the new hunter has only one thought. Where is the Ragged? Okay, so I guess this is the sequel to something called Trailer Park Fae. Well, so if you're into this sort of thing, here you go. And, oh, they sent me another Ancestral Machines. Well, that's nice. The other one can go to a library, I guess. But this is a new novel by Michael Cobley. It is set in the same universe as his earlier trilogy, Humanity's Fire. The War Cage, 200 worlds harnessed to an artificial sun in a feat of unprecedented stellar engineering. built to travel through space as a monument to peace between alien species, now its voracious rulers have turned it into a nightmarish wasteland, capturing new planets for slaves and resources, and then discarding the old. Now, when a verdant agricultural world, I guess, is pulled out of its orbit, the captain of a smuggler ship must journey to the war cage to rescue his crew. So, Michael Cobley, Ancestral Machines. And I think this one is out this month. And then finally we have Skyborn, which I think has now been out for a couple of months. The author is David Dalgleish. First book in something called Seraphim, the first in an all-new fantasy series. 6 islands float high above the endless ocean, where humanity's final remnants are locked in a brutal civil war. Their parents, slain in battle, twins Kale and Brenna Skyborn are training to be Seraphim, elite soldiers of aerial combat who wield elements of ice, fire, stone, and lightning. When the invasion comes, they will take to the skies and claim their vengeance. So, Skyborn from Orbit, already out. And now, a big random penguin box, which looks awfully big, but it's kind of lightweight, so we'll see. Woohoo! Bubble wrap! Yay! Oh, come on. Well, you suck. Well, amidst all of that bubble wrap is a new printing of Peter Straub's Ghost Story. This is a classic horror fiction. What's the worst thing you've ever done? In the sleepy town of Millburn, New York, 4 old men gather to tell one another stories, some true, some made up, all of them frightening, a simple pastime to divert themselves from their quiet lives. But one story is coming back to haunt them in their small town, a tale of something they did long ago, a wicked mistake. A horrifying accident, and they're about to learn that no one can bury the past forever. This is sort of like a, a late 20th century modern horror classic. It came out right around that same time that Stephen King was in his early peak with like The Shining and The Stand and books like that. But Peter Straub's Ghost Story has now been re-released in this pretty trade paperback edition. And next is this very lovely book. I almost don't want to cover up the cover with my hand too much because it's really super pretty. But this is a stunning new series by J. Kathleen Shaney, Dreaming Death, a Palace of Dreams novel. Let's see, it says, Sharon Ungier's status as a sensitive is both a gift and a curse. Her augmented senses allow her to discover and feel things others can't, but her talents come with a price, a constant assault of emotions and sensations that has left her blind. Determined to use her abilities as best she can, Sharon works tirelessly as an investigator for the La Rosen army. A member of the royal family's guard, Mikhail Lee, also possesses an overwhelming power. He dreams of the deaths of others, sometimes in vivid, shocking detail, and sometimes in cryptic fragments and half-remembered images. Then a killer brings a reign of terror to the city, snuffing out his victims with an arcane and deadly blood magic. Only Sharon can sense and interpret Mikhail's dim, dark dreams of the murders, and what they find together will lead them into a nightmare. Okay, so it looks like we have these two using their relative magic skills to solve murders. Dreaming Death, this lovely looking new fantasy from J. Kathleen Shaney. And finally, another big random penguin box, and this one has some weight to it. So among the items in this box are these 4 mass market titles, which are The Brimstone Deception, a new volume in Lisa Sheeran's series Spy Files. Alchemy of Chaos, the new Meriday novel by my buddy Marshall Ryan Maresca. His 3rd book, so very happy for Marshall. And I'll be getting reviews of these up very, very soon. Graveyard is the newest novel in the Mutant Files series by William Dietz. And finally, Hunting the White Witch, which is another reprint, a Tanith Lee reprint. she died recently. And this is the 3rd book in her Witchfire trilogy, I believe. No, the Birthgrave trilogy. Sorry. But the Birthgrave trilogy, so they've reprinted this. This was like her first trilogy that sort of put her on the map. But once again, they've changed the title. They're calling it Hunting the White Witch now, and the original title was Quest for the White Witch. So this is like, early 70s, kind of epic fantasy, sword and sorcery stuff. But Tanith Lee really blazed a trail. And then there were 4 frickin' hardcovers in here. First of which is I, Robot to Preserve. This is the 3rd book in a series by Mickey Zucker-Reichert, which, as you see, is sort of based upon Isaac Asimov's idea about the laws of robotics. No sell sheets for these, but it says 2037 robotic technology has evolved into the realm of self-aware, sentient mechanical entities. But despite the safeguards programmed into the very core of a robot's artificial intelligence, humanity's most brilliant creation can still fall prey to those who believe the 3 laws of robotics, were made to be broken. So, iRobot to preserve. And then they've doubled me up on Poseidon's Wake, so another Poseidon's Wake hardcover. Thank you. It's an embarrassment of riches if you're Alistair Reynolds fan. And then we have Revisionary, which is the 4th book in Jim Hines' Magic Ex Libris series. I've been wanting to get started on these. I have all of them, of course. So, yeah, Libriomancer, I do believe, is the first one, so maybe I have an excuse now. But Revisionary is available now from DAW. And last but by no means least, this has me really quite excited. This is a new fantasy by Patricia McKillop. You know, so much stuff in this mailbag has been latest series entry. And some folks during the live show were like, what about standalone books? Does anyone do these? Well, Kingfisher, let's see what this is about. Let's see. Hidden away from the world by his mother, the powerful sorceress Heloise Oliver, Pierce has grown up working in her restaurant in Desolation Point. One day, unexpectedly, strangers pass through the town on the way to the legendary capital city. Look for us, they tell Pierce, if you come to Severluna. You might find a place for yourself in King Arden's court. Lured by a future far away from the bleak northern coast, Pierce makes his choice. Heloise, bereft and furious, tells her son the truth about his father, a knight in King Arden's court, about an older brother Pierce never knew existed, about his father's destructive love for King Arden's queen, and Heloise's decision to raise her younger son alone. As Pierce journeys to Severluna, his path twists and turns through other lives and mysteries. An inn where ancient rites are celebrated, though no one will speak of them. A legendary local chef whose delicacies leave diners slowly withering from hunger. His mysterious wife who steals Pierce's heart. A young woman whose need to escape is even greater than Pierce's. And finally, in Severluna, King Arden's youngest son, who is urged by strange and lovely forces to sacrifice his father's kingdom. Things are changing in that kingdom. Old magic is on the rise, the immensely powerful artifact of an ancient god has come to light, and the king is gathering his knights to quest for this profound mystery which may restore the kingdom to its former glory or destroy it. And Patricia McKillop, of course, is the writer of the Riddle Master series, a classic epic fantasy series, and she is back with Kingfisher, what appears to be a standalone fantasy. Whew. And that's the lot. Man, what a haul, huh? A bunch of books, a bunch of amazing stuff. All right, hope you've been keeping notes, so let me know in the comments which of these looks most exciting to you, which you want to see me prioritize in the review queue. Otherwise, please hit that like button if you enjoyed watching, share this video far and wide with all of your SFF reading friends, and above all, please subscribe. That is how SFF180 grows as a channel. I love all you guys, and until I see you next time, happy reading.